All right, welcome to the party, pals. Yes, there was approximately a 47-second delay according to AB. However, I think it was a few minutes past that. But we're going to get the party started here in just a moment. One of the things I was messing around with was trying to figure out how to present and also share the screen, which is apparently not an option inside of Restream as a single account on this side of the glass. So good information. However, I was able to figure out a workaround so we could at least do the presentation and show the websites today. We're going to go ahead and blow through this introduction to start with. Welcome to the party, pal, GRC Mafia. I see so many familiar faces. We got Cyber Gangsters, Cybersecurity. We got B-Dubs. We got Rania. We got AB Showtime. Jeffrey's popping in. GRC Mafia. Now, right out the gate, we want to definitely premise that we're here to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community, work towards a more secure future for everyone. That comes from learning and growing together as a community. It makes it a lot easier, breaks down a lot of those barriers, vetted resources, and kind of seeing through that smoke and mirrors as well. Definitely makes the process a little bit easier there. Now, I don't think I'm probably going to end up taking the whole schedule portion out. I think we're starting to get into the mix of that. But we are streaming 5 days a week now, and we have some really awesome things coming up on Thursdays for the next couple of weeks. And we also have that special presentation on Friday from CISO Assistant. So definitely take a look at that as well. So on Friday at 11 a.m. instead of our typical AMA, we'll actually have CISO Assistant live with us, who's going to actually walk us through on screen to set up CISO Assistant on Docker locally, and also a cloud installation as well, along with Q&A. Let's see here. And then if you guys would like to come up on stage or otherwise, I don't mind dropping the link for that, of course. If you happen to do so, you do not have to turn on your video. Whether you come up or not, definitely feel comfortable to ask questions, even if it doesn't pertain to exactly what we're talking about. Drop it in chat. Worst case scenario, we circle back around, or other people in the chat find it as well. One also really awesome thing to do is if you join our Discord server, which I just dropped the link for, you can go ahead and post your social media profiles, such as your LinkedIn, inside of our live chat channel inside of Discord. And then that gets relayed to all of the other platforms as well. And then we could just start networking, connecting with each other, and so forth from there. That's also another aspect that I haven't mentioned really much before, at least in a long time, is this entire chat. So the chat on YouTube and the other 3 platforms that we stream to, we have a permanent archive of that because the software we use puts all of that into our Discord server. So then you can always go back and search for something that you might have missed before. Let's see. Just a moment. All right. And that's just one of the additional benefits to the Discord server on top of all that collaboration and everything else. We do quite a bit in there. We also started up our giveaway that got published this morning as well. Now, also share your useful resources. What are you working on? You could go ahead and mention other topics and everything as well. If you do happen to share something that you don't want to be public, just reach out to me on Discord or LinkedIn. Let me know in chat, or you can also email me directly at contact@studygrc.org. Now, a couple honorable mentions is B-Dubs' website, posting a blog article every single Monday related to GRC InfoSec. Also, another good shout out is PBO, who typically goes live every Tuesday. Also has like over 800 different videos on YouTube as well. So I just dropped those links in chat there. And of course, our website itself, and I don't remember what the actual command for it was, so I'm just going to type it out here, but studygrc.org. So some of the highlights on our website is going to be the other platforms that we stream to. Like for an example, Twitch has like no latency, basically, very, very low. Also, our calendar is going to provide the most up-to-date information there. And we, of course, have our resources page too, which since PBO did not stream last night, you guys might not be aware of this, but we went ahead and streamed last night. It was definitely later than we typically would. But PBO didn't go live. He had a couple other things to handle. So I decided to go live, and we actually worked through a bunch of the different stuff and kind of went over some of the different items that we have on the resources page. And then I went ahead and put my own note up here on the top right corner. So since the beginning of the year, when we did the state of Study GRC, we were talking about how we are on the market. Is that how we should put it? For sponsors. So we are looking for sponsorship, so that way we can get different tooling, we could cover operational expenses, we could provide more for the community and so forth. And so if maybe you're interested or you know somebody who might be, let us know or let them know, send them our information and so forth as well. And I did mention the giveaway portion. So this month, I just went through and posted the video inside of the Discord server this morning on the YouTube channel, on LinkedIn, on X. The giveaway this month is actually to a virtual conference for HippoCow. We've shared that resource a few different times before, and they have a really awesome looking virtual conference coming up April 10th and 11th, I believe. And so we're auctioning one of those off in the giveaway for this month. All right. And also, you'll see that donation link hopping in chat. I'm absolutely horrible at selling myself or Study GRC itself. I don't want anybody to feel obligated to do so, but if you would like to do so, that is an option there. Whether it's sponsorship or donations or otherwise, it just goes 100% back to community. Something else that you guys may not have noticed either is we also have memberships for the Discord or for the YouTube channel, which unlocks emojis too, which the main reason why we enabled that was there's certain benefits with YouTube. And then also that's less of a barrier for you guys as well. And you get those emojis. Cyber Gangster Cybersecurity says, you're really awesome looking. I'm not sure how I should take that, but I'll take it as a compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see. Let me go ahead and get transitioned over here and we'll get the ball rolling. We're already 8 minutes in. Jeez. Carl much. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the primary title for this is Learn and Practice, and this is our GRC Let's Get Technical series. So every Wednesday we go over something along the technical side, and we're trying to work our way from like some of the fundamentals and so forth, and then just kind of work our way up. And what I would like to start doing maybe the end of this month or going into next month is actually start working on some different labs that are freely available and so forth as well, which we could also do as a group. Now, one of the struggle points that I had and why there was a slight delay there is because I have a presentation and I have about 15 websites to share with you. So I'm going to be swapping between the presentation and the shared screen. I hope nothing else goes wrong. Worst case scenario, we'll figure it out. We got PBO hopping in chat here. So, the king of struggle streaming. So fear not. Streaming machine. 8-bit. That's hilarious. All for community. Community built, community driven, GRC Mafia. All right, so free and low-cost IT cybersecurity training platforms. And so that's what we're going to be covering. I'm going to skip through a couple of these slides real quick. If I can figure out how to do this the way I got this, kind of working barely. All right, so one of the big aspects that I wanted to focus on this is, so there's all kinds of different resources out there. I think one of the biggest struggles is it's not necessarily finding resources. It's going through and figuring out which ones to spend your time on. And that is very, very difficult. It really depends on what your focus is and, what your learning style. There's certain platforms that work really well for some people, but not others. So you really have to kind of play around with it and figure out what works for you. However, I'm going to drop a bunch of different options that you guys can go through and check out if you haven't come across some of these. I'm sure some of these, even you more senior levels, probably haven't heard of them yet. And also a lot of this is also focused towards low cost or free is a big focal point of mine as well. And then it says all skill levels here. It is primarily directed towards people entry level. Maybe you don't really know that much about IT at all at your current stance. Now, overview and platforms, we're going to go across all of it. So hands-on and practical training. There's some government and academia resources in here and some really popular ones as well. All right, so some of the first ones that I want to start off with. So Khan Academy is a really popular one. Now, that's not something that you would typically think of when you think of information security, IT. It is mostly directed towards like K through 8 or K through 12, general education, math, English, history, that type of stuff. However, I'm going to go ahead and move this over and you guys could take a gander at this for a moment. I'm going to double check chat here, make sure everything's good. I don't want PBO over here in chat pushing boot camps or anything with his 853 killer course coming out here in a minute. Let's see. Hey. Rania, don't point. If you don't mention it, nobody will notice it. Come on. I got the top bar and I got the bottom bar missing. Thank you very much. Now it was just the scroll bar I couldn't get to disappear. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to do like some JavaScript injections or something with this. But yeah, I got parts of it taken out. All right. Yeah, and welcome to the party, pal, AB. I also see Josh hopping in as well. Let's see. Misty-eyed, welcome to the party, pal. All right, and so the very first resource here is Khan Academy, and so like I said, it's mostly general education is what you think of. However, there's a lot more that's in here as well. They have a whole section here for computing. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to this. Zuyuki, so Rania was making more of a joke about the scroll bar that you could see on the right-hand side of the presentation. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal or otherwise, but at least I got the bottom and the top bars that won't show now. So there's progress. And then also after this video, I will post every single one of these links. There's got to be like 15 of these that will be in the description as well. And shortly afterwards, I'll also have the chapters below. But so let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more here. And so underneath the computing section on this website, all of these are 100% free. You just sign up for an account. No sweat. I don't think they even have a paid version, but you can see right here that, okay, we got some programming in here. All right, we got some algorithms and conditions. Okay, that's neat. All right, well, computer science principles. Now we're talking about online data security, some different innovations, data analysis, the internet, programming, algorithms. So this is where, especially for somebody who doesn't have a background in IT and you don't have experience with it and it's something that you're just now getting into or otherwise, I could definitely see this being a really great resource as a very starting point. Although, even if you do, you probably could still learn something here too. Cryptography, that's not a particular strong suit of mine at all. Information theory. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff on here. Pixar in a box. I'm not even sure what's going on there. Maybe this has to do with like game animations or game development or something along those lines. However, they do have several different lessons and courses in here that you could still learn from. And I think they had a Python one here too, but there's also some other really great resources for that kind of stuff as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and swap back over to the presentation here. Bam. All right, let's see. Welcome to the party, pal, Lexi Cruz. And yeah, Zuyuki's popped in too, GRC Mafia. All right, and so the next one that I wanted to share here is Free Code Camp. Now, this is another one that I think from back in the day before, they kind of lost track of it to an extent, just on the fact that it was really focused towards coding only, but it is way more than coding. So they called it Free Code Camp, but there's a lot more on here. So like for an example, we could just search for networking, and then you could see right here, like, yeah, there's coding courses in here, but there's a lot more. Learn Wireshark, computer networking tutorial. And you could search for all kinds of different things. And all of this is directed towards freely available resources. And so like, I'm trying to search for it. Okay, so I just searched for cybersecurity for an example, and it pops up, why cybersecurity skills are important. What is penetration testing in cybersecurity? Top certifications you should know about. Key security concepts to learn for a career in cybersecurity. And so there's a lot of different things here. There's also like a section where you can like browse courses. Let me go back to the home page here. So on the actual home page, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to this one now. All right. And so another reason why I wanted to include this one is not only is this like super legitimate and they have all kinds of different stuff on here that you could search for, but they also have their certification programs here. Now, you shouldn't be going around collecting papers and so forth. However, what I really like about this is that it's organized. So for an example, like one of the big things that I would probably recommend, they have a really good Python course through here as well, but information security certification. So there's that. And then they also have a few other things here too, but like this would be, I've looked at this before, and this gives you a little bit of an idea or a starting point to go over some of those basic topics and so forth. So, and this is designed, this is actually laid out for people who don't have previous experience. So that's just one example. But again, you can come here, you could search for a topic like, oh, I want to learn network fundamentals or, VLANs. I mean, I'm sure they have VLANs on here. Seems like it does take a minute for it to search though. If it searches, I mean, I guess that's what you get for running a completely free service. Hopefully that's not on my end. Yeah, because that's just clearing out on me. Well, I think they should take some, I'm sure they have some courses on there to figure out how to fix that portion. But I did drop that in chat there. Let me go ahead and hop on over to the next one here. I'll go ahead and hop back over to the presentation, double check chat again. Cyber Gangster Cybersecurity asks anything of the way of soft skills. I will mark that for the end. That is not the focus right now. Today's the GRC Let's Get Technical, but that's definitely something that we could discuss as well. I have at least one recommendation for that off the bat. Oh yeah, and also Space Tacos mentions Free Code Camp YouTube channel. That's where a lot of that stuff is hosted as well. All right, so the next one over here is going to be MIT Open Courseware. I think this is another one that doesn't get enough credit where credit's due. And so I'm going to drop the link to this. This is filtered. This has the cybersecurity filter on it. You can go ahead and play around with that. One of the big things I wanted to showcase here is like, for an example, you can go through, there's 12 results under cybersecurity at least. And I think I added a couple other filters. And so for an example, there's network and computer security. All right, well, I want to go ahead and click on that. All right. And so this is an actual college course for network and computer security. Now, some of this stuff may be more advanced than entry level or otherwise. It depends on which course it is. But the unique thing with this platform is that it typically gives you access to like projects that were included in that, lecture notes. You also have like different assignments and so forth as well. And so you don't always go through and like get the actual speeches, the webinars aspect of it. But you almost always, like I keep seeing with a lot of these ones where you get like the lecture notes and assignments, and you can also look at the syllabus and be like, oh, okay, so for networking 101 or networking 201, this is what's covered. And I can go through and start looking into these in order. And then also that's where like the projects and some of the other items here can come in handy as well. And I've actually found some pretty interesting things on here. So I think this is also a good one to take a look at as well. Like here's one on computer systems security. So about computer design and engineering. Of course, this is going to flow differently depending on the person and so forth. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but I definitely wanted to throw that out there. That delay is totally you. Sure was responsive for me. What is that in relation to? The delay is Rania. What? I'm actually confused. I have no idea what that delay is supposed to be. So what you may be mentioning is I had dropped a link in chat before you guys actually saw it on video. And so the main reason for that is because from Restream, which is the service we use to stream with, to YouTube has about a 20-second delay time. There's not really any way around that. That's actually very typical for live streaming and so forth. To reduce that live streaming delay, then you can go through and also on Twitch with the low latency. Oh, Code Camp website. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was a little confused. So that was this next one here. So I just mentioned the MIT one. Now the next one over here on our presentation slide is going to be Open University. And so this is one that I just recently found. So let me go ahead and pop this open here. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop this link as well for you guys. Now, this is one that I think I came across a while back, but I never really took a second look at it. But the really unique thing with this is that it's 100% free courses that they've developed. And I am actually currently going through their risk management one. And so what I have marked off right here is science, math, technology. They have a bunch of different stuff like assessing risk and engineering, but they also have some more related items as well. So if we scroll down a little bit more, forensic science, okay, not quite what we're looking for. So IT information, all right, IT in everyday life, IT device to device communication, all right, learning, thinking, and doing, all right. So most of these different courses, from what I've seen so far, can vary anywhere from a couple hours to like full on like 6 to 12 week courses. So is that college? Oh yeah. So this third column over, let me zoom in more here. So you could see the third column in from the left is the actual estimated hour time to complete it. And so now I'm going to sit back down to where we were kind of at. And they have a lot of different courses on here. And so they do have a risk management course that I could skip over to here in a moment. But there's a lot of different stuff in here. And so you can also search by subjects. And let me zoom out now. And so if we go back to subjects, then digital and computing, bam. And then you could see some of the different courses right there alone. So most popular. So these are like the most popular courses here. So Internet of Everything. So IoE. processes data and things. Information security, a 10-hour course just about information security. Well, let's take a look at that real quick. It says it's a level 3. All right, well, what does this include? Well, it literally provides the course content right here. Information security, all right. Well, that kind of skipped through differently than I thought it would. Can I just open that? Okay, there we go. So social networks, what is information security, things to think about, which podcasts and blogs, and conclusion there. So like, I'm going to go ahead and click on the information security part. And then you could see here where it's talking about like CIA triad and so forth. And so for an example, I'm going to skip over to this one real quick because this one is more relevant. And I'll drop the direct link to this page as well. So they have an entire course on risk management, which I just started working through it all. Let me double check that this link works. There we go. Bam. And so that's why I wanted to go ahead and include this in this video as well. And like I said, after this video, I'll also go through and this live chat will be available on the recording a few hours after the video processes. However, shortly after, like within an hour after this live stream, I'll get that in the description below as well for all of these. So definitely take a look at this as well. And there's so many different things, even not even related to IT. So really, really awesome resource that I've seen. All right. So that's some of the different more academic government resources that we have there. Let's see. Did I put that slide in twice? Okay, there we go. All right. So now hands-on and practical training. I think that's something that we hear way more about, especially in the circles that most of us seem to be around. The first one that I wanted to go ahead and shout out is TryHackMe. This just came a lot more natural to me, at least. I found it to be extremely useful out the gate to just start immediately upskilling. They do have a free plan, but there's a lot of stuff that is locked. Now, with that said, though, there's also this other really awesome resource here that I'm going to go ahead and pull up on screen. And so I'm going to drop a link to this and to TryHackMe. Let's see here. And so the unique thing with this is, so this is just a GitHub page that somebody created, and they went through and they organized over 500 rooms on TryHackMe as, just 100% free. So you can go in here and you could be like, oh, I want to learn about the web, like web app pen testing, or I want to learn about networking or different tools. And you could go ahead and look through this. And they also have basic rooms, intro rooms, Linux fundamentals. So then you could go through and pick and choose these different free rooms that they've already put aside for you. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that one. And then let me go ahead and drop TryHackMe as well. Definitely sign up for the free version and then take it from there. I do believe that like the 10, 15, it's $14 a month if you pay monthly. I personally paid for it month to month, and I think I had it for like 3 or 4 months, and I was already like in the top 5. So it really depends on how much. One of the things that I would also premise with this is that definitely go through and try some of these different platforms out, but obviously because of time and so forth, you're not going to be able to dedicate your time to all of these resources. So eventually you're going to have to kind of find your niche and kind of, even if you go from one to the next, it's going to be a lot easier than if you have 8 different ones that you're skipping across and, 15 minutes a day on each one. But also, it also depends on your learning style too. So take that into account. All right. And so that's the TryHackMe. The next one that I have listed out on here is Let's Defend. So Let's Defend, I'm not even going to lie, is like my new best friend. I originally heard about Let's Defend. I think it was during like Black Friday or something like that. Or it might have been Thanksgiving or Christmas. It was around that time. I'm not sure. But anyways, Jerry ended up sharing like a 55% off discount code through Simply Cyber. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. So I'll take a look at that. And this was like a while ago. I think this was the previous year. And then fast forward back to the next time there was a sale going on. I was like, okay, well, I've been looking for this for a while now. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. With that part said, they do also have a limited free tier as well. So the main issue with the free tier that I noticed is that you get a lot of access to like the text content and some of the different modules, but then you have to skip over a lot of the hands-on aspects, or the video content, or you don't have access to do the hands-on. Like they have a whole sim built into the website as well that you could utilize on the paid tiers. And this you can see right out the gate that it is more expensive than, let's say, TryHackMe that we were just looking at. That was $14 a month, and I think it was $10.50 if you paid yearly. So this is significantly more, although I do agree with that. So especially if this is going to be your only platform and it's something that really works for you, and especially if you're going for that blue teaming aspect, I think this is a really good platform to consider, at least to take a look at. Don't just jump right into it. Get the free plan and then see how it works for you. And then I'm trying to open up. That's really annoying too. Why? I don't know why I'm having so many issues here, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to go ahead and pull this section up here. And so I don't know if we can filter this. I don't think there is a filter here for like just the free tier. But I know you can't do the pathways, but you can select okay, they just have it marked, but you can't filter by it. So you can see here where it says free in the top right of the modules themselves. And so like Linux for Blue Team, network fundamentals, and so forth. And so they do have quite a few different things on here. I don't know how many. I don't think I've seen a GitHub for this one yet that sorts it out for the free ones, but definitely another one that I wanted to shout out. I really love the hands-on aspect for it. Bam. And then let me go ahead and grab the link to that. Yeah, and like 8-Bit mentions is it usually goes on sale around the holidays. Also, another thing to mention with Let's Defend is you also get a discount if you have if you're a student. So that's another thing to look at. Yeah, and like B-Dubs mentions is pick and choose based on your learning style and career goals. And regarding learning styles, I mean, Space Tacos is in chat right now, and just earlier last month presented for us about learning styles. So definitely check that out as well if you want to learn more about learning styles and how you could figure your own out and what's even out there. Yeah, and thanks for the feedback there, AB Showtime. I try to minimize my Discords and so forth, so I don't think I'm even in the Let's Defend one, but I do believe it. I'm pretty satisfied with Let's Defend. I think they put together a pretty decent platform, especially considering you have a lot of people who are going towards red teaming, so there's an overabundance of those resources, and it's nice to see more companies coming out and supporting the blue teaming side of it that we're really short on, actually. I think, you know, what I've seen and so forth is it's the blue team that's losing out here. Let's see. All right. And then the next one I wanted to mention is Hack the Box. Now, this is another one where I wanted to include this because I do see it recommended quite a bit. However, you can go ahead and start their academy for free. I personally did not have the greatest experience. I didn't, especially whereas at the time, it just didn't work for me, but that doesn't mean it won't work for you. So it may be another one that you want to hop into and give a try. I do see it recommended quite a bit. This is the academy side of it. So the way that they decipher is like Hack the Boxes for CTS, for capture the flag, you know, actual training and practice, whereas Hack the Box Academy is for learning, is how they kind of premise that. However, my understanding is that you have to like complete different rooms in order to get points to move on to the next stage. And I'm not sure if that actually follows all the way through the program, or if at some point you get paywalled, or exactly where that comes out at. But they do have like the fundamental stuff open, is my understanding. So Space Tacos asked about GRC at all. There is aspects of GRC, but there is not like straight GRC. So they do have modules on NIST and some of the different frameworks out there. They do have stuff, I believe, on like risk assessment, but they don't have anything hands-on for it. But they do talk about a lot of the different aspects that would follow underneath GRC from a compliance standpoint. And then they do also have like different things built in as well for that risk management and like risk identification stuff as well. And so like B-dubs recommends starting with TryHackMe, then move over to Hack the Box after you have some basic skills built. TryHackMe holds your hand. Hack the Box requires you to think outside of the box to do your own research. And so that's just, another recommendation there and so forth, but it's still something that I wanted to go ahead and throw out here. All right. And then let's go ahead and move back over here, because I had this all planned out perfectly, but I was hoping to actually be able to stream with the presentation at the top and then the website below it is how I was hoping it would work, but just wasn't my day. So PBO had to hop into the, the chat over there. All right. So now some of the online courses, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see here. So the very first one that I want to mention here is Coursera. So this is also another one where it seems like a pretty popular resource. Like I did take the Google Cybersecurity certificate. That seems like a popular one that a lot of people chase after or otherwise. Depending on where you're at already, it could be a good point to go through, but they do also have a lot of different free stuff through here. And then also there's a method to where you can audit a course. And I don't know all of the details on that, but I would take a look at their auditing course options, because what that does is it allows you to actually access the course material and you could go all the way through it. The only downside is that you will not obtain the certificate or, certificate of completion at the end of it. So you could go through the course and you could learn all the material and so forth. You just don't get the piece of paper. But then also my understanding, what I've heard from multiple people is that they have that for a lot of different content. So that if you're just looking to upskill and learn, which is another thing that we try to premise, is like you could study a certification without actually intending on ever taking that exam, just to upskill and become more knowledgeable. So I just wanted to go ahead and throw it out here that they do also have some free stuff as well. And then I just dropped that down in chat as well. Let's see here. Just trying to make sure I keep up with chat here. Oh, and I think there was one other thing here. Yeah, I do have a couple different messages marked for the after the presentation here. If you guys do have questions or otherwise, definitely drop them. Worst case scenario, I'll go ahead and mark them and address it at the end. So I would say we're about 3/4 of the way through right now. Yeah, and then also B-dubs mentions Hack the Box is some of the most thorough technical training I've found. Just wouldn't recommend it for someone brand new. Yeah, like at least on the Academy, they tried to premise it as a learning experience, but I was not impressed off the bat. I don't think that it would be something for complete entry level. So, and I also was like the onboarding process was not very clear. Yeah, and I'm not too sure. what you're referencing there, Josh, in regards to message being clear or not. But, in reference to Coursera. So for people in New York State, it's free with certain state services like the Department of Labor, for an example. Yeah, and that's another thing to take a look at too, is that there was a community member that actually mentioned like a library card. I haven't held a library card in my adult life. And then they were telling me about how they get all of these resources for audiobooks and digital books that they could just check out, and all kinds of different online resources like learning, like language learning platforms and all kinds of different stuff just through their library card. And I actually went through and took action on that and ended up getting my first library card as an adult for free in the state of North Dakota, at least. And yeah, there's all kinds of different resources. Unfortunately, I do not get access to Coursera. However, there is a lot of other stuff that I do get out of it. So that's definitely a pretty good shout out too, is to take a look at like what public options are out there. Especially the libraries seem to include some pretty decent deals. Oh yeah. Yeah. And so like Space Tacos is like, what? Library cards are awesome. Yeah. So like I always just got paper books. Like I don't think I was in a library before for, I don't know. I was probably like maybe 13, 14 years old last time I was in a physical library. Yeah. So everything went digital, Space Tacos. And then Amazon became a thing, online purchases became a thing, and so forth. And then I just never realized as an adult that, oh, hey, these resources are available through, public libraries. So, but I'm really glad that one of the community members, like probably a year ago, mentioned it and was like, hey, you should take a look at that, because yeah, that was a great idea. So that's a really good mention there too, Space Tacos. And yeah, I dropped the Coursera one here. And they have all kinds of different stuff here. And if you guys ever have any questions regarding what courses to take, or if you're trying to decide like between certain ones or otherwise, best places to drop that is inside of the Discord server, whether that be Study GRC or Simply Cyber or whatever other ones that you've built a niche into. So definitely seek different perspectives and community feedback and everything else to figure out where you should spend your time when you're not, especially when you're not sure, or if you're worried that it might not be the the correct route to go or the best place to spend your time. Also, like another really honorable mention too, real quick, is Hack Smarter here. So, bam, absolutely amazing hats. I got the t-shirt as well. I love what they're doing over there. And it's hacksmarter.org. I'll go ahead and drop a link over there, and you can go ahead and join their Discord server. But the reason that I wanted to mention them is they also have a donate what you can coaching program with like over a dozen different people who are working in industry. Bam. All right, now moving on to the next stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So we just went over Coursera. Now another one I wanted to mention is edX. So edX is, I think we hear about it here and there. Maybe somebody will drop a course like, oh, hey, here's this, here's that. But to be honest with you, I haven't met that many people who have actually gone through and completed it. Have any of you guys gone through one, like all the way through and completed one of the courses? So like one of the very popular ones here is like the CS50 Introduction to Cybersecurity, which is a 100% free course from Harvard for Intro to Cybersecurity. And I honestly, I don't think I've met anybody who's actually gone through the whole thing and completed it. Over 250,000 people have enrolled in it. But yeah, and so you could see right here. So this course, for just one example, let me go ahead and grab this this link and drop this in chat first. So so the link to this is in chat. This does have a filter on it for the cybersecurity aspect of it. But like for an example, like there's all kinds of different ones here. You'll have to double check. I believe all of the stuff on here is free, but I think they might have some advertisements built in or something, or at least it's clearly stated. But for an example, CS50 is, so honestly, if somebody had a little bit of knowledge about computers, like you understand how computers, what components are in it, you understand a little bit about networking on it, or otherwise, like you're not completely unfamiliar with computers and technology, then this would actually probably be a pretty good one. So it does state that it is an intro course. It takes 2 to 6 hours a week for 5 weeks. It's self-paced. You just register and you can go through this 100% for free. They have like videos that you could watch, lectures that you can go through and everything else. And I mean, they have a whole list of what you'll learn right here. So is it going to teach you everything? No, the industry is way too broad for that. You probably still want to go more in depth on some of these different topics, but it's going to give you a really good higher level picture of what's out there and start setting you up for more success there. So definitely a serious thing to consider. I think this is actually a really good quality course. So, but this isn't the only one. So I focus on the CS50, but there's a bunch of other things in here too. You could look at the operating systems, beginner's guide. I think they do have some risk management courses in here as well. So definitely take a look around and see what you want to chase after first. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Space Tacos. And I'm not trying to like call anybody out. It's just, I think the courses here on edX are like abnormally really good, to be honest with you. But I feel like we don't hear about it enough. Like, I feel like we should be promoting stuff like the CS50 more. I think I have gone through a good majority of that content. I myself didn't complete it either. I'd say that it is still kind of dull because like the videos that were on it were, like professors just doing their speeches and so forth. And then there's also like coursework and projects that you have to complete as well. But I mean, maybe that's something we could take a look at and see if that's like a study group we could do or something. Because I really do think it's a great thing to go through. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Josh. And there's other things on here as well. So on edX, there's entry level, and it does progress up, I would say, to like medium, to like mid level. So they do have some good quality stuff there as well. I did drop the link to that. And then we'll go ahead and keep moving forward. If you guys have any questions or other topics or otherwise, definitely drop that in chat. Worst case scenario, I'll pin that and mark it for the end. And so the next one I wanted to mention is Cyberary. So this is actually another funny one. Let me go ahead and pop open their website here. Bam. So I say that it's a funny one because this was another one. So everybody's going to be different. I will certainly share my opinion and so forth. However, don't take that like too far to heart. I still think that, just like with Hack the Box, for an example, just because people say, oh, that didn't work for me or otherwise, doesn't mean you can't sign up for the free account and be like, and give it yourself a try. The main issue that I had with this actually is because I signed up and then I think they were just having issues. Like I think they had updated their website recently or did some type of major change to their platform, like shortly before I registered, because like I just had one thing after another not working for me. Like my courses were reset and the interface would stop working, videos would disappear, and it was just a complete Carl, you got to patch it moment. So I mean, that was a couple years ago, so I'm sure they got things figured out by now. I've heard really good things about them. They do have a free account, which is, I would say, pretty limited, but you do get access to over 50 different courses that they do have. A big thing that is limited there is the hands-on. So it's very limited for like hands-on and so forth. But I think this is still a good resource to check out. One big thing that I also want to mention here too is that they have like a ton of free resources too. So maybe it's down here at the bottom. So I'm not even sure where you would find that, but they have like a whole category of different resources. And so like for an example, for the CISSP study group that we're doing, there's a whole category on Cyberary's website that provides like assistance with the CISSP domains. And it's completely free. Like you don't even need an account to access it. So there's still some interesting things here, and it may be something to take a look at. One of the other things that to mention here too is that if you look at these paid plans, it's not cheap. So I have heard really good things about this, but also you're talking starting at, 50 bucks plus a month. And it's actually $56 if you don't pay for the whole year. So definitely, give that a spin first, I would say, but still. And honestly, if you were looking at this pricing, one that I didn't even plan on talking about is Pluralsight. So I didn't even plan on bringing this one up at all, but it's a pretty good mention to include as well. So if you are actually legitimately looking at spending that kind of money on, a learning platform, where is your pricing? Oh, view plans for individuals. Then I would seriously be considering Pluralsight. So if you are going to be paying out a subscription, I think Pluralsight is a great platform personally. So they have a lot of different stuff on there. They also have a good mixture of GRC content. And that would be my pick for a learning platform subscription. That and Let's Defend would be my two top picks personally. But again, definitely give these a spin and give it your own go. Yeah, exactly. Like Jason says, Coral. Let's see. Space Taco says, I don't remember any of it though. I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing because you may think that you don't remember it all or remember anything out of a course that you took 7 years ago, but you might be surprised. So, yeah. All right. And then let's see here. So then we just went over Cyberary, and then also I mentioned Pluralsight. I think I dropped that in chat, right? Perfect. I did. Awesome. Let me go ahead and sort that on here because I'm keeping this all organized or trying to here. Bam. All right. So the next one that I wanted to mention here is Cisco Networking Academy. I don't think that's the full name for it, is it? Oh, it is. Perfect. So this one I've registered on before as well. I have taken some of their basic, like I would call them micro courses that are like an hour or 2 hours in length. I do hear a lot about this though. So especially if you want to learn more about networking or, some of the different IT science portions of it, I think this is a great resource as well. And so I think that there are paid sections to it. So they have a ton of free courses that you can go through and take. But then I think what I've seen before is some different sections where you could take the course for free, but then you have to pay, $50 or something like that to obtain the certificate of completion or otherwise. But a lot of people seem to really like this platform. And I think this is definitely a really good mention as well. So, one of the things I just already skipped, but see, you could see right here, let me zoom in a little bit. Networking Essentials. So that's Networking Essentials is 70 hours. That one does not appear to be free. So we can see on this left one for Introduction to IoT and Digital Transformation that this one's free. So it looks like they do market free and not free. But yeah. Oh, you can see right here, ethical hacker, 70 hours estimated. And this course right here is free. And so again, this whole video, this whole stream here is all about like places where you can get free and low cost upskilling, especially on that technical side of things. So yeah. And like there's a good majority of people too, where I see, you know, they come about and they say, hey, I want to get into GRC. And, you know, like a place that they may need to start is computer hardware basics, operating system basics, you know, some of the basic diagnostics and so forth, stuff that you would see in like the CompTIA A+. So this is definitely one that I wanted to throw out there as well. I hear a lot of really good things about this. Yeah, and so like 8-Bit mentions is it's also called NetACAD. Oh, NetACAD for short. Okay, I see. Which is also the domain name there. I see what you're saying. Awesome. And then Brian over on LinkedIn, if you're talking about the Cisco, so you can sign up for a free account and then you can access all that free material. And then from what I've seen is that you only have to pay for like certificate of completion, or if you want to buy one of the paid courses itself. But they do have a lot of content on there that's for free. I believe you're referencing the Cisco Network Academy that I have up right now. Let's see. Yeah, and then also like Lexi Cruz mentions that they had just found Cyberary yesterday, and they signed up. Yeah, and share with the community how that works out for you too, like what your thoughts and opinions are on it and so forth. Like that's where community comes in on it. Bam. GRC Mafia. All right. And so moving forward. Awesome. And so that kind of finishes off those online courses. Now, let me double check here. Bam. Okay, there we go. And then that brings us to the conclusion here. So there was one other article here that I wanted to share. So does anybody have any questions to add or anything like that? I'm going to go through a couple of the ones that I marked out earlier. If you guys have any questions, or if there's a particular area that you're working on, or other resources that you want to drop in chat as well, or otherwise, now is definitely a good time to do it. So we are technically like 3 minutes over. However, that's not an issue at all. So I still want to stick around for a few minutes and go through those questions and anything else that you guys have. And then there was one other thing that I wanted to pull up here too. The very first slide there, or section to that slide that I had up, is assess your goals. I think it's very, very useful to go through and read this article here. So this is on BDubs' website. And this particular article is called Get Smart with Goals. And so SMART goals is an actual thing. And one thing that's really neat is there's even an infographic down here at the bottom of this article that you could save and put somewhere if you'd like, that breaks down in kind of like a concise format to remember this as well. So when you go through and you want to set goals and so forth, you want to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, and then execute the plan itself. So having all that lined out and breaking that down, I think is a really good strategy. I would say that I myself definitely screwed up, especially earlier on. Like, I mean, I could easily say it's probably been 2-year journey on the self-study, at least on a very regular basis. And I would say like just the last year, so like maybe the first 12 months, like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't do any research or figure out my own learning style. I didn't go through, like, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do this, or, oh, I guess I'll do that. I didn't go through and set any goals or anything like that. It was really just kind of thrown together. So not much planning. And it really makes it a lot more effective when you have planning and you set, time, like deadlines, and you set time aside on particular days or times of day and so forth. I find to be way better for myself, at least. So I like if somebody with no experience comes to me and they're like, hey, this is what I want to do. One of the very first things that I'm going to also be including for them is like the learning styles, the SMART goals. There's also resources out there for note taking, and then also like just figuring out the learning style. Like in order to go down this journey, and especially in information security, it's a constant learning thing. So you definitely have to go through, and it makes it a lot more effective when you understand how you learn and how to make that as effective as possible. Let me double check chat here, and I'll go ahead and jump back over to the slide deck for a moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark that. And then thanks for hopping in, Space Tacos. I appreciate it. Happy Wednesday, GRC Mafia. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, I just marked your question there too, Josh. So Josh did have this question here. Do you have a good system for organizing your learning so you can stay on track? So everybody's a little bit different with that. Personally, so I did talk a little bit about the SMART goals. That's one part of it. But I also take notes in Obsidian. You can use any other note taking that you want. I just kind of use that to kind of stay somewhat organized and put it in folders and notes. And then also I use like Google Calendar for scheduling. And I really, it's still something that I struggle with, but actually doing time blocking it seems to be pretty effective, especially when you're balancing like multiple projects and deadlines and things like that. Yeah, and like Cybercycle says, wait, hold up, SMART goals? Yeah, and then 8-Bit says, that's awesome. I just watched a video recently about setting goals, but about not setting goals, but setting up frameworks instead. Exactly. And that's actually what SMART goals is it's a literal framework. And then Brian says, what's your suggestion for somebody from a technical support side of things who is making a foray into cybersecurity? Is blue teaming through the SOC environment a good idea? I would say that that's probably going to be common, is moving into blue teaming. So you do already have a really good setup for that because you already have that technical support. So I'm assuming what you mean by technical support, you're probably talking like help desk. So it kind of depends exactly what type of role. But yeah, you're going to be way more apt for that. And to be honest with you, if you haven't already, I would take a look at the CompTIA Sec Plus. As far as a certification goes, you do not have to actually take the exam if you don't want to, but at least studying that material is like the foundations for information security. And that's where IT breaks away on the information security side, is those foundational things that are in the Sec Plus, if you haven't already started going down that route. But I would say something like a SOC role would be a pretty common lap over. And then if anybody else has other recommendations, they are over on LinkedIn, but I could relay what you throw in chat as well. Let's see. And also, like, another thing I would mention too, Brian, if you aren't already, simplycyber.io. There's a Discord link on there. If you're not already part of the Simply Cyber community, that would be a really good community to join as well as you go through that journey. So yeah. The Discord server for that is absolutely phenomenal. And then also they have daily cyber threat briefings, fireside chats every week, all kinds of different awesome stuff. And then Josh, thank you for the feedback. So, and then also I really want to find out like what other content do you guys want to hear about? What topics are you guys working through and things like that too? Because streaming 5 days a week, we're going to run out of topics eventually. And definitely want to provide value on, you know, what the community is looking for. And so 8-Bit mentions it's a hit and miss. To each their own. I say try many different techniques to learning till you find what fits. Kind of like distro hopping in Linux. Eventually you'll find something that works for you. Yeah. Yeah, and so like Brian already has the Sec Plus, the CEH, and also a master's in cybersecurity. Well, then, especially at this point in time, I mean, you should definitely be taking a look at those SOC roles and, or maybe even looking at some of the different consultant roles for that. You have that CEH, so that's a pretty well-known certification right there. Are you having issues? Like, are you getting interviews? If you're actively applying and you're not even getting interviews, then I would take a look at the actual resume itself. That seems to be a really common issue as well. So if you don't get any interviews for roles that you should be qualified for, then what I've seen is double checking that resume and getting that cleared up. You're more than welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I could send you other resources, get you connected with the rest of the community on our side if you're not already as well. So there's other people that I know really well that are way more versed on that side of things than I am. And then also B-Dubs mentions that they hear Firesides should be very interesting tomorrow. That is because B-Dubs is on Firesides for Simply Cyber tomorrow. So I believe it's 4:30 Central Time or 3:30 Central. Drop that time. I don't remember offhand. Thanks for hopping in, Josh. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in. GRC Mafia. Oh yeah, no worries at all, Bentech. That's one big reason why we go through and we have the recordings afterwards. About an hour after I end the live stream, which I'll probably be ending here in maybe 5-10 minutes, then I'll go through. It'll take about an hour for me to be able to put the actual chapters on the video so you can easily jump through it. And then also I'm going to include like the 15 different links that I drop throughout as well. So that would be a really good, like I'm actually recommending that you wait like an hour after the stream before you watch the whole thing. It might make it a little bit easier. Let's see. Yes. And so I think you mentioned that earlier, Brexy. I'm going to pull that up in just a moment. Yeah, definitely connect with me. So my LinkedIn is tag on LinkedIn is just C Whitlock and then 95. And I believe it should be connected on the LinkedIn side. Worst case scenario, I can follow up with you after the stream. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over here. So Cyber Gangsters actually asked that question earlier for anything on the way of soft skills. So my very first recommendation is going to be TCMSec. So TCM Security, they have a really awesome course that was made by Zach Hill. And I'm pulling it up over here right now. So they have a bunch of different courses here, but you can click on Foundational. So if you go over to their academy and click on Foundational, then you can go ahead and skip on down. They have like a practical help desk for an example. But then there's also here we are, soft skills for the job market. So this comprehensive course is meticulously designed to equip job seekers with essential soft skills, communication techniques, and job application strategies required to excel in today's competitive market. And that is not an overstatement whatsoever. Zach Hill is absolutely phenomenal. He went through and built out this course and absolutely phenomenal. So this is my absolute highest recommendation as far as the soft skills for the job market come in. So there are going to be a couple other like communication type of things that you could also pursue or otherwise, but this would be my top pick for sure. And so I just dropped a link directly to that, and that's a free course, literally $0, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it's not like it's just like a dumbed down version or anything like that. Like it's a full course. So you can literally see here, like I just keep scrolling. I don't know how many modules are in here, but there's quite a few. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. And I've talked to a lot of people who have already gone through all of it, and it's gotten a lot. Yeah, 7+ hours of content. And I've heard really amazing things about that course, and it's $0. So there's the soft skills part. Bam. All right, let's see here. Let me check this out. Oh, and then I marked this one from earlier as far as a good system. So we did talk about that a little bit as far as a good system. Let me go ahead and grab this other link too. And then if you guys do have other questions or otherwise, definitely let me know. Otherwise, we'll be coming to an end here in just a moment. So, and then there's also this one here. So I definitely wanted to go through and share this as well. So this is the learning styles and wellness in cybersecurity. And this is the presentation that Space Tacos did. Highly recommended. So I believe I have the chapters built into this as well. But so Space Tacos went through and gave an amazing presentation about learning styles and how you can actually go through and identify yours to try to break down and figure out what kind of methods would work best for you. So then you can customize your study style. So I just dropped that direct link in chat as well. And then also Josh mentioned, I think he was dropping off, third-party risk assessments, including follow-up to gap analysis processes for closing risk, etc. for future topic. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll go through and copy that over to my notes right quick. Bam. And I'll add that to our list there. Thank you for the recommendations there. Bam, GRC Mafia. All right, so we are coming to an end here now. If you guys do have any additional questions or otherwise, the best place to reach myself, but then also the rest of the community as well, is inside of our Discord server. We also have our monthly giveaway that's going on right now, which is a ticket to a HIPAA virtual conference that's coming up April 10th and 11th. Those details is on our LinkedIn for Study GRC, but then also inside of our Discord server as well, which you do have to go to our Discord server and join that in order to actually click the button to participate. But there's no other requirements other than that. You just have to join the Discord server, hit the button to participate inside of the giveaways channel, and you're good to go. And yeah, thank you all for attending, and you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow is our primary meeting on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central. We'll have Alana up with us presenting for GRC implementations.